day after Christmas, Boxing Day. So I went and I bought a intake manifold gasket set, and so I'm removing, well, I've already removed that plenum because I'm going to be using the other one. But it's funny when you go in there, like, look how much wasted space is in there, and then you see, like, look at all that. So I ended up finding a 3-inch adapter, extension in there. So that's just hilarious. So side note, do not let anything fall inside there, because that's going to be a pain. So anyhow, I'm about to switch that out. Then I ran into a little problemo. The valve covers, if you guys know, the spark plug seals are built into the valve cover. So the proper way of, fixing that is by purchasing new valve covers. Unfortunately, they're like $125 a piece. So I remember seeing it because I had the QR. The QR is the same design where the spark plug seals are built into the valve cover. So once it goes through a whole bunch of cycles of heating, cooling down, heating, cooling down, the rubbers get hard, they break. And I already put in the spark plugs, the heat range 8. But when I was taking them out, the stock ones that were in there were all oiled up, like, let me see if one of these, I kind of cleaned them, but it had some, you see the residue. So what happens, that can give you a misfire. So I'm looking at possibly doing that. I haven't fully committed myself mentally to that, just because I'm like, man, I just want to throw on the intake manifold, put on the injectors and whatnot. So that's one. Then the other thing that I am plotting in my head is the PVC. So the way the PVC works, it gets fresh air into there, which I believe that one connects up to pre-throttle body. So when the engine is what's that thing called, not, I guess, wide open throttle, but I don't even know. I don't even feel like explaining it right now. But all I know is, that one's open right now. It feeds through there into this one, and then this one's a check valve, which I was looking at removing it, but it's a check valve in the right direction, so it cannot get pressurized. It can only get vacuum. So what I'm probably going to do is hook that up to a vacuum source, similar to what I did on the KA, and I had good results with it, because it would also help with my idle, because I didn't have an idle air control valve on there. So that was one thing that it did. The other thing was that it simply helped keep, I didn't have a lot of smoke, I had a lot of blow by coming out or whatever. It really just took it in the motor, kept it clean. And then the third reason why I'm opting to do this is because actuality, F1 cars, I watched this on Engineering Explained. They talk about how they use crankcase gases, which basically is flammable, and they can only burn so much in terms of endurance racing. So they're using that as like, let's say a power adder, but it just helps with the combustion. So that's what's up. I'm gonna do that, and then we'll go from there. So all right guys, I've been whooping ass, and I totally kind of forgot to update everyone, I guess. I don't know, myself keeping track. So what I did for the spark plug valve covers was I just did a cheap thing where you kind of just fill it up with RTV on the inside. I was doing that and trying to get it all clean, but this one guy did it, and like after 20,000 he should, even though if you use the black and you get it to let it dry and seal up, then you shouldn't be no issues. So did that. I went and I tightened all my AN fittings. Now I'm about to do the cross that goes from, so I'm doing in on this one, so in's coming in and going down, coming out, and then that's going to be my return out. So I had done this piece, just made this, and I'm about to put that in, and the joys. All right, so I got the injectors on. Lower plenum's just sitting there. Well, maybe I have enough room. Oh yeah, I got enough room. I was thinking about not putting it on because I wanted to do the fuel lines, but I have more than enough room. Because I really want to get this on because I don't want shit to fall in the motor. But yeah, so I did that, and then I welded some little brackets for the thing. You see that? That aluminum bracket is just a simple, I call it a Z-strap or something. And so what it does is just pull down the injector. I mean, hold down the fuel rail. I didn't want to actually weld on the fuel rail because I didn't want to mess it up because my aluminum skills ain't on par. So, but at least 2200 cc injectors, heat range 8 spark plugs, stock coils, and making this a note for me is on this one, the freaking power pulled out. I don't know, I checked all of them to make sure, you know, they were good. I guess, you know, when I was doing it, it pulled out. So if I get a misfire, that's the first thing I need to look for. I said, oh, you know, I'll change the harness, but then I didn't feel like frigging with it. I said, let me just do that, and I put some push the pin back in and then put some epoxy to hold it in, so hopefully that should do it. But yeah, I guess now I'm gonna put the intake back on, because once the intake's on, it's I can then put back all of this, you know, whatever. But anyhow, so all right, next so update. I started to go ahead and putting this on because I can get to the fuel lines pretty good. You see I have my inline hooked up. I ordered some braided line to come back. I'm gonna order another braided line to go there, but at least, you know, I could change that once that's all mounted. And just a little thing, these, they're basically little nipples, like this. This is for the water coolant to travel through and warm up the throttle body. It's, you know, used for people who are up north. I'm in South Florida. I don't need it, so I take that off so that doesn't increase my manifold air temps. And then I only have 3 vacuum ports on this, which is great. So, you know, I have one here, and then I have one here once I remove this solenoid valve, and then I have one here. So I'm not too sure if I'm just gonna hook up the PCV to there. That'll look nice and clean. Then hook up the brake booster to here, and then this could be my signal line. You know, run a T, or run one for the manifold air temp. I'm sorry, for the map sensor. I have a boost gauge that I can hook up. I can basically do a vacuum block off of that. Essentially, you know, what is the idea? So then I will have just 3 ports, and I'll have less boost leaks that could possibly happen. So that's what's going on, guys. I'm about to put this on and be happy. Alright, so the intake manifold is back on completely, there to stay. Fuel rails are there. I got my feed hooked up over there, as you see. I'm gonna probably change this line. At least I can, you know, do that after. That's no big deal. But I wanted to point out I actually have 4 valve cover or vacuum ports. So there's one back there, one here, one there, and the next one there. This one was just blocked off. But what I'll probably do is have you know, like maybe the smaller one go there, or not. I mean, the diameter of the hose, you know, how much air it lets in, you know, can influence the idle. So if it goes too high where I can't thing, then I can swap ports and do whatever. That's, you know, whatever. That's fine. I'll probably hook up the brake booster to that one, which is this line here. Hook that up and have that, you know, nice dedicated. I think that's a 3/8 line, but anyhow, I have that and then the other. But it's coming along. So I'm actually gonna be in Disney World in Orlando, going back to my hometown. Well, sorry, not my hometown, but you know, going back to where I resided for 4 years when I went to school. So it's always pretty cool to go back. Just hate the traffic though. But anyhow, just rambling. Looking to just now get all of everything mounted, and I still got to make my soldering connections inside there. And then I just remembered that I need to hook up a vacuum line from there into the motor. And that's pretty much it. Probably what I might do, even though it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to find like the cleanest, you know, whatever. Like that can feed the PCV. This black one, or sorry, this big one can possibly, you know, route the brake booster line underneath. So that's kind of hidden. This guy, he's kind of big. What do I want to feed him to? I don't know. You know, because then I'm thinking about that one in the back. I could push that from my blow-off valve. And then this guy, since he's a smaller diameter, even though I can still do it from this one. Or maybe I might do it to that one, just hook that up to the map. Just do a reducer. You know, that's yeah. Little by little, you know, we'll get there. Oh yeah, since I also need to remember to, oh no, I'm gonna leave that alone, that PCV. So everything is pretty much good. I just got to finish up this wiring here. I know a lot of these go to the like these are the transmission for the KA, which I need to see how the reverse works on this so I can get my reverse lights when I go into gear. So that's about it. But yeah, it's coming along. You know, my little wire tuck. I think I'm gonna pass these guys underneath. I passed them up on originally because of the exhaust manifold. Didn't want heat get into it, but I think I could be able to pass them underneath so that it looks a little bit cleaner. And then I have these from the stock harness. These heat wraps, fire retardant things. So it's yeah, that's about it. Oh, I just gotta make that. But anyhow, I'm rambling on. I'm making side notes, you know, for myself. But that's where we're at, and hopefully, yeah, as Aaron Z33 said, we'll be, you know, losing tire thread. So, all right, guys, talk to you later.